Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video we're going to be talking about how Donald Trump has imposed tariffs on Mexico after reaching a deal. Basically, the title of the video is going to be called that Donald Trump is going to cause Aurora stock to rise, at least in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, and maybe Aurora will sell off regardless of a market melt up, because that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have a market melt up. I think the market's going to continue to run up, and I think we're going to meet new highs, and the market is not crashing anytime soon, at least for the next couple months, at least in my opinion. I could totally be wrong, and next week could be just another ugly week, but I honestly believe Trump's a genius. He just saved the market again. He saved the stock market again, and he's gonna cause the market to go up by suspending plans to impose tariffs and causing the federal government to cut interest rate. That's the only the stock market is gonna melt up. At least that's just my opinion. I could totally be wrong, and Monday, Tuesday, and the next week could be just a sell-off week. So right now the market is kind of dangerous, but I honestly believe that we are gonna keep going up. That's just my opinion only, though. So, and I think that if the market is gonna keep going up, I think Aurora is gonna go up, Canopy is gonna go up. Yeah, that's just my opinion, though. And yeah, I think the market's gonna reach new highs. Like right now, the market is about 600 points, 656 points away from all-time highs. I think they could easily reach that next week. If the market goes up 300 points in 2 days, next week we're gonna hit new all-time highs, and then possibly even surpassing new all-time highs and going straight for the market is gonna melt up. The market is gonna make new highs. Donald Trump's a genius, in my opinion. He knows how to manipulate the stock market. So yeah, and I think if the market's gonna go up, if the market in general is gonna go up, I think Aurora is gonna go up. I think Canopy is gonna go up. I think the reason why Aurora and Canopy sold off during the month of May is because, well, not really, not be volatile. They didn't really sell off too much, but why Aurora and Canopy was so volatile in the month of May is because the market was selling off and investors were worried. So I think in the future, I think Aurora is gonna reverse trend and it's gonna move up. The MACD is telling me that there's a possibility that in the next, I think it's gonna be volatile tomorrow, Monday, sorry, and then Tuesday. I think by Wednesday and Thursday, this is my opinion, the Aurora's trend is gonna change and it's gonna move to the upside. But that is just my opinion. I could totally be wrong, and Aurora could just dump, and Canopy can just dump while the market is melting up. I mean, or the market could sell off and cause Aurora and Canopy to both sell off at the same time. But anyways, that's it for the Aurora video. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about Acreage Holdings. So Acreage Holdings. Acreage Holdings sent me a book. This book is the shareholder meeting for the merger between Acreage and Canopy. It's going to be held in Ontario. I'm not going to be attending this meeting regardless of my, I'm a shareholder, so I got the notice and I got the book. I'm not going to disclose how many shares I have of Acreage Holdings because, I don't want to, but I do have a decent amount. So, yeah, Acreage Holdings right now is 1801. I honestly believe it's a opportunity because once the shareholder meeting is done, so by the end, they are expecting this transaction to close on June, by the end of June. So once the meeting is over, once everything's been approved, once everything's passed on, all the shareholders in Acreage Holdings will be getting a premium. Like, according to this article or this press release from Canopy and Acreage Holdings, announced filing of management information circular related to Canopy's plan to acquire Acreage Holdings. All shareholders will get a premium of $2.55 supported voting shares as converted by, so that means that if you take out a calculator, let's say if you had 1,000 shares times 255, you're getting $2,550 just for having 1,000 shares. If you have 2, that's 5. You have 4, that's 10. How much would 1,000 shares cost at $18? 1,000 shares at $18 would be $18,000, 18,000 US dollars for $2,555 worth of dividends. It's not bad. On top of that, you can, since the fact that Acreage Holding is already $18 and Canopy Growth share is $42, I think it's a discount because if you look at the price, it says if Canopy share is $45, the conversion rate is $26.18. And the fact that Canopy share is $42 right now, Acreage Holding shares should be somewhere around $23, around 23 US dollars. So that's already a $5 discount from what it is trading at the moment. And with the melt up happening, I could totally see Canopy going to $45. And at least my opinion only, I could totally be wrong. I think the trend is going to reverse because the market is bullish right now. So I believe that Acreage will move to the upside. So at $18, not bad, because you will be making $2.55. On top of that, if the stock goes up another $2, you'll be making another, $2,000 just for having 1,000 shares. So that's potentially over 5,000 US dollars or more if the stock price keeps going up. So I honestly think if you are bullish on Canopy, Acreage is the better way to get into the market. I mean, to get into Canopy than it actually buying Canopy stock at the moment. At least this is my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not buying any Canopy, but I am buying Acreage Holdings. Unfortunately, most retail investors don't like Acreage Holdings because you need US dollars in order to buy it. You cannot buy it with your Canadian dollars, and not a lot of Canadians want to convert their money into US because of the currency difference. You are losing money as you convert it into US dollars, and not a lot of Canadians want to do that. That's the biggest problem, the biggest hurdle about buying Acreage Holding stock, in my opinion. But it is, I think Acreage is, if you're bullish on Canopy, Acreage is the better way to go about it, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna end it off with some Acreage Holdings video, why Canopy bought into Acreage. So let's begin.
Let's get to Bruce Linton now. He's the founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Canopy Growth. And a busy day for you, Bruce. Busy week from joining the TSX 60 and also doing this big deal with Acreage. Let's start there, which made so many headlines. When did that start for you guys, this conversation with Acreage about doing a deal?
Well, so it even started before that conversation. We had to think about, starting in November, how can we enter America in the future without going offside with New York Stock Exchange, major banks, TSX. So we came up with a structure which was us buying the right to buy them in the future at a fixed exchange ratio, which means that for their shareholders and our shareholders, if and when we collaborate together, meaning Canopy lends them intellectual property, trade secrets, brands, we'll both get bigger and better, and then it'll be worth more to both shareholders. So that took us until January to have the exchanges and everybody sort of getting it. And our conversation started, we looked at and made a map of all the MSOs, who's who, who's governed, how are they governed, and we got really comfortable with Acreage and have been working with them since January.
So this is a case study that others are looking at. Should we assume then this is the Canopy playbook? Like if others use it, it's basically they're using the Canopy playbook?
Well, John, you should start a cannabis business. You're almost guaranteed some success if you just do what we do right after us. And so there will, of course, be that attempt. But what will happen is I think we were able to pick the one we wanted. And suppose you're not a cannabis company. You're just a big pharma company. You might be able to do this, but you don't have the intellectual property related to cannabis to lend in and the brands to lend in to your U.S. partner. So they don't get the same torque. But I expect others will follow. It'll probably get more costly. It'll bring different players than just cannabis players. But I like moving first.
Because you've mentioned IP in this interview, and you've said it a lot in the past, I'm really curious on the fine line that exists on what you can and cannot share now with your U.S. partner. Because let's face it, we don't have legalization yet for recreational cannabis at the federal level in the United States.
Yeah, so brand, take a simple one. There are Tweed stores in Canada. I would expect there will become Tweed stores as trademarked brands in the U.S. under this, and it'll be which ones they want to use where. And then you just start peeling back what other virtues and knowledge do we gain in Canada and the world by spending a few $1 billion and doing things at scale. And so this will be an evolution, but what we cannot do is we cannot govern that company. We can't review their budgets, sit on their board. They need to run the company and use our materials as they see fit, which is a big reason we like Acreage, right? It's a very competent management team with a very strong board, so we know that they're run and governed properly.
And Acreage now talking about going out and looking to do its own deals. I assume there's limited conversations that you can, I mean, you know what you like in the U.S., and I'm sure they've got some ideas on that as well. Just, again, talking about what you can and cannot do. Can you have a conversation about that?
Yeah, so there's 2 windows of time. There's now until the shareholder vote. And so I'm in New York. A bunch of our folks are in New York because they're headquartered here. Between now and then, we can review, discuss, put together thoughts. And then after the shareholder vote, really, they're off running and coming back to us where we would license to them, for example, some of that know-how I described or brands. And under the license agreement, they can use it in America, but we can't tell them where to use it. They can simply learn how to from us. So,
speaking of shareholders, people have obviously been fans of your stock. It's been quite a big performer, and now you're part of the TSX 60, and you made headlines.
So you guys heard it. The biggest reason why Canopy wants to buy Acreage is because they have good governance, and I think good governance is what is the most important in a business. Trusting your money in good management is important. But anyways, that's it for my video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. Subscribe for future updates. And have a great day. Bye.